All right. So here is the topics up hand. So this one is for the MMA section. And, last weekend, John Jones officially became the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the baddest man on the planet. And he beat Cyril Gane. However, there are those in the MMA circle, former fighters, who have strong words and opinions about John Jones. And this is brought to you by SB Nation. And Mark Hunt unloads on John Jones after his win at UFC 285. And it's not just Mark Hunt. There were a bunch of other fighters. But this is the most notable because he said some really interesting words. So this is what he said. The UFC heavyweight champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, a cheating steroid rat who runs into pregnant women and runs off a rat that hides under the octagon for 10 hours, hiding from being tested for drugs. This is your UFC heavyweight champion. This is the rat you need to look up to. This is the rat we promote. Please be upstanding and raise your glass to a company that has zero credibility. Worthless belt, worthless champion, and even more worthless rip-off company. Any other sport, this loser wouldn't be here. That's why the UFC has no credibility, because they promote this garbage. So, what do you think, Isaiah, man? What do you think about Mark Hunt's harsh words against John Jones?
Really? Mark Hunt said that?
Yeah. He posted it on his YouTube, actually, on his Facebook.
Can we go back to that and kind of like analyze why was he just kind of like on a rant?
No, so see, he submitted that on Facebook, and he posted that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, he has strong opinions about this primarily because of the past. So there have been no suggestions of any wrongdoing by fighter or company in the lead up to the last weekend's card, though Hunt has been at odds with the UFC since 2017, when he filed a lawsuit against the promotion, its president, and his opponent at UFC 200, Brock Lesnar. So the 48-year-old claimed that UFC knew Lesnar was using banned substances prior to their fight at the landmark event in July 2016. In January 2022, the United States District Court in Nevada dismissed the case and ordered Hunt to pay $690,000 in legal fees to the UFC. Hunt is now retired from the MMA and is remembered for famous knockout wins against Derek Lewis, Frank Mir, Antonio Silva, and Roy Nelson. Yeah, so he has his strong opinions about people who are on PEDs, right?
Okay, no, I figured, because I was like, I swear Mark Hunt never went against John Jones.
No, he never went against John Jones. Yeah. But here's the thing. He clearly has, whether it's justified or not, right? The United States Federal District Court, U.S. District Court in Nevada, said that they dismissed it and ordered Mark Hunt to pay the UFC over $500,000.
Wow.
Because of legal fees.
Wow.
Because, again, he claimed that the UFC knew that Brock Lesnar was using banned substance in their fight, which, hey man, I always think that Brock Lesnar was always on the PEDs.
I mean, yeah, he was like he's a WWE fighter. I mean,
yeah, he's always been on that.
Yeah, he's always been on that.
And to have
juice, my friend.
Yeah, and not only that, but John Jones has been popped for being dirty, and in addition to that, he ran over a pregnant woman.
Yeah, and he went to jail for
for DUIs and all that. Yeah. And
okay, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say that what Mark Hunt is saying is wrong. Um, you know, he he has the right to have an opinion on it. Makes sorry, the opinion makes sense. That's what I'm saying, because John Jones doesn't have the cleanest record when it comes to life. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, I just didn't think he'd have so much animosity or like in the now. You know what I mean? Like, let's be fair. We should probably not. I take that back. It's in the same vein as what's his face, um, the snake. Freaking like Conor McGregor calls him the snake. T.J. Dillashaw. And TJ Dillashaw got caught PEDs, except in this case TJ Dillashaw actually like vocally admitted to using PEDs when he got caught. um and so in his performances were tainted. And the difference in my opinion between like looking at that and looking at John Jones is that, well, for one, John Jones, after all that, even though he got caught with like a picogram of PEDs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he we'll talk about this in a little bit, but John Jones has been able to come out of long hiatuses and still come out like, in spite of all of that, still come out on top. That's why people consider him the GOAT, because of his resume and his ability to come back
Mm-hmm.
and still face the top while coming out of a that's a long time, 3-year hiatus.
Yeah.
You don't expect anyone to win with that, especially at a high level that Surugan was at
Mm.
and the activity that Surugan was at. It just didn't make logical sense unless he was that good and on a different level. And TJ Dillashaw, how unfortunately never got back on that horse after he got caught, came back,
Mm-hmm.
and then it worked out a little bit, but then he like completely broke his shoulder in the fight and then he retired. And that's his story.
Mm-hmm.
So it just didn't turn out like that. So I wouldn't agree with Mark Hunt as saying that John Jones is this or that. He's clearly proven his worth. That's what I'm trying to say. Um so I see where he's coming from. I just don't agree with the looking of John Jones now. The look of John Jones now. Because I respect Mark Hunt. I like Mark Hunt as a fighter, and his tattoo, baller. I love his tattoos. If you look like on his chest, like I love it. I love it. Great tattoos. What
Man,
do you think, Mark? What do you think about this?
dog, like I can't disagree with any of his claims, bro.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. I
When a lot
mean,
of
the start.
people say GOAT, right?
Yeah.
They also some people, me personally, I don't really account this, but some people account for stuff in the back, like in the background.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Muhammad Ali, he's arguably an icon, as well as some people consider him the GOAT because of his resume, what he did in the boxing ring, as well um as well as what he did outside of the ring, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
civil
Yeah.
rights
Yeah.
activist, this and the
Yeah.
third. LeBron James is another one who's been considered to go because what his accolades and his scoring titles in the NBA, and what he does as an activist, as a philanthropist outside of the arena and outside of the basketball court.
Mm-hmm. And well, I guess so. Just like the for the people who are watching this video, just remember that the pound for pound ranking is subjective.
Oh yeah,
Just
absolutely.
put that out there. There is no objective goat. No matter where you go, there is no objective goat.
Yeah.
Um, even though people will consider Muhammad Ali as the greatest of all time, I would consider him the greatest of all time, because even Mike Tyson, who has who has like a super high not the most. That goes to Foreman, but like a super high knockout percentage rate.
That would be
Um,
Deontay Wilder.
whatever. Okay. Anyway, but people consider him the GOAT because like Mike Tyson said it himself. The way that the person was. Muhammad Ali was willing to die for this, and he did. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
he was willing to die for whatever boxing represented, and he was just on a different level of that. And even Mike Tyson agreed with that. So it's very subjective, but you could also argue like Sugar Ray Leonard. You could argue Sugar Ray Robinson. You could argue you could even argue Mike Tyson if you wanted to, I guess. For some people, but it's a subjective term, and Mark Hunt has, for the reasons he gave, super true. I mean, I don't see it that way. Mark doesn't see it that way, but it is what it is.
yeah, I don't see. So unfortunately, man, some people will see what John Jones does outside the ring as a
Mm-hmm.
signifier for why he shouldn't be considered a GOAT. Right?
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
Unfortunately, it's hard to argue against that because they're like, a GOAT is the greatest of all time. Time
yeah,
means not just because he's in the octagon, but also how he upholds himself as a citizen outside the ring, where people can look up to him and want to be like him.
yeah,
A lot of people used to be like, I want to be like Mike, Michael Jordan, right? Because he was an upstanding person outside the ring. A lot of people like never had problems like that. He was also 6-time NBA champion. But John Jones, on the other hand, he is phenomenal. Out of this world inside the octagon. But outside the octagon, he has demons. And it's hard to be like telling my kids and pointing at John Jones and being like, I want you to be like him one day, when his background ain't the cleanest, right?
Yeah. I mean, this would actually be a good segue to. I'm gonna go ahead and mix the two together, 5 and 6. So I was actually, this is a good segue point from Mark, whatever
Yeah.
Mark said. So this comes from the MMA News .com, and this is an article that came out today, March 8th, by Harvey Leonard, and he says that Daniel Cormier, right? This is coming from Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier disagrees with John Jones being considered as the pound for pound top spot, right? So long story short, um, during a recent episode of ESPN MMA's DC and RC show, Daniel Cormier reflected on the event of UFC 285, having called the action from cage side along John Anik and Joe Rogan. While Cormier and Jones went back and forth in one of UFC's most bitter feuds, which, oh dude, is so bitter. Like but you could tell, like, this is off topic, but you could tell like John Jones was in Cormier's head 24/7. Um, but they have been a little bit more cordial this year. The former light heavyweight and heavyweight champ isn't giving John Bones Jones all the plaudits just yet. In Cormier's eyes, the pound for pound crown should still be held by featherweight title holder Alexander Volkanovski, who secured the status last year, owing to his decimation of Max Holloway in July and Kamaru Usman's defeat the following month. And he says that, I don't, in my opinion, believe he, John Jones, should be number one pound for pound. I think Alexander Volkanovski should still stay there. I don't think he should be the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. So, what do you think about that, Mike? Let's just go ahead and like get your thoughts in on that. Like, what do you say that Cormier is saying that Jones shouldn't be above Volkanovski? Because I have my answer, and I'm gonna wait for yours.
Ugh, dude, it's so hard because it's like we said earlier, the pound for pound list is subjective.
Very subjective. Yeah.
I remember a few episodes ago, Isaiah and I were like literally going in circles, and we finally realized, Oh shit, it's subjective. Right.
Like no, I forgot which pound for pound ranking it was.
It was
I'm
the
not sure if it was
ESPN, and then
okay. Yeah. Okay,
ESPN MMA had a different pound per pound ranking compared to the UFC.
exactly. And then we're like, oh, it really is subjective. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, because the thing is, Daniel Cormier, um, I would disagree with Daniel Cormier. One of the reasons why is John Jones went from light heavyweight and gained nearly 30 pounds
Wow.
to heavyweight and beat the top contender to become the heavyweight champion. Right? Pound for pound, the actual definition to some people is if weight and size doesn't matter, you go up in different weight classes, you can beat anyone in that weight class. Right?
Yeah.
And we saw that because John Jones went from light heavyweight, gained nearly 30 plus pounds.
Yeah.
Come out of retirement, well, come out of being inactive for 3 years and beat the top contender. Number one.
Yep.
To me, that solidifies him, in my opinion, again, it's subjective, him being top pound for pound.
Yeah. And I would also add, like, I mean, Volkanovski would have been in that same breath if he beat Islam because that was a different what's it called? That I'm not sure. Wait, was it a different weight class? Did Volkanovski go up or did he stay? And Islam had to go down. Islam went down, right?
Huh?
Did Islam go down a weight class to go against Volkanovski, or
No.
did Volkanovski go up?
Volkanovski go up.
Okay, yeah. So I was right. So Volkanovski went up. So he would have been in that same breath because it would have been a multiple or two different weight divisions.
Yeah, it'd be two. He'd be champ.
Yeah, kind of like Connor, but with more defenses. Actually, with a defense. But I would also like to add that, speaking about defenses, aside from the fact that he went up a weight class, right, and immediately beat the number one spot in the first round, in the very beginning, by the way, um, and he had 13 title defenses in his career. 13. That's a lot. The closest to that is Demetrius Johnson.
Hey, Michael.
By the way, so like if you want to go even further, you got like Anderson Silva and George St. Pierre under that.
Yeah, that's why.
But John Jones, you gotta put this into perspective. John Jones, again, this is why I would still consider him the UFC GOAT, is because he has been around
for a
when
long
Anderson
time.
he's part of the golden era. Do you know how long ago that is? Like he went people against like what's it called?
Leota Machida.
Machida. He was there. Glover, like all the way. Chael Sonnen before he was like a podcast person. Chael Sonnen, Alexander Gustafsson.
It's funny because like there was a podcast.
Yeah.
Chael Sonnen said I was on some juice, and I knew that John Jones was on some juice when we fought.
Oh my god.
That's what Chael Sonnen said on a podcast.
He also did say that he got paid 8.8 million.
Oh, but here's the thing: Chael Sonnen, he like openly admits he's on the PEDs, and he was like, when John Jones moved me like I was nothing, I knew he was on the PEDs too. There ain't no way someone could do that, right?
Okay,
as long as both guys are on it, that's fair, right?
Yeah.
If one guy's on it and the other guy's not, then I'm like, that's not fair. Both guys have to acknowledge both.
Again, you in that same breath, you have to acknowledge that John Jones he played that dirty.
Yeah, but the thing is,
you have to admit, like at that point, you can't really put it on the PEDs because he has 13 title defenses against the best in the world for a long time, since 2000, like what, 11. You know how long ago that is?
Bruh.
Like 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 people don't realize that is a long, long time ago. And he's done it against multiple people,
Oh
sometimes
my
twice.
god.
Alexander Gustafsson and Alexander Gustafsson and Daniel Cormier. Those were multiple fights, like two fights, right? And beat both of them. Um, like people can answer that Dominic Reyes was like closer to beating John Jones. That was a really close fight, but it still ended in a unanimous decision. And Dominic Reyes is not on a good streak right now. Can't even argue that anymore. So John Jones has been on the top since 2011 and hasn't. He's fought before that, obviously, but for the belt, 2011, and like he's the only time he lost is because he was beating the dude up so bad that he did a 12-6 elbow,
Yeah,
which
that
is
was
an
against
illegal
Matt
move.
Hill, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, bro, like it's like no one else has that resume. Like you could bring up Khabib, perfect record, right? He's
Yeah,
he's
but the
been
thing is, he fought in the UFC. The amount of times he's fought in the UFC is how many times that John Jones has defended his belts.
yes, exactly. As I'm saying, like, okay, so Khabib has gone against some killers,
No,
a lot of killers, but John Jones has been doing that since like 2011, a long time. And across again, multiple hiatuses, and he still comes out on top after that. That's insane to me.
yeah, that's the thing. Is like he's beaten so many good fighters. He's beaten Mauricio Rua, Rampage, Rampage Jackson, Lyoto Machida, Rashad Evans, Vitor Belfort, Chael Sonnen, Alexander Gustafsson, Glover Teixeira, Daniel Cormier, Saint
Twice.
Peru, Daniel Cormier again, Alexander Gustafsson, Anthony Smith, Thiago Santos, Dominic Reyes, Cyril Gane. Literally beating everyone. He's
Yep.
beaten Stephan Bonner. Like, dude, this man's just beating a lot of like great Hall of Fame names.
Oh yeah. It's it's almost it's like you can compare like record like amount technically, like Khabib has 29 on zero and John Jones has 27, but you gotta look at the time amount and like the people and the belt defenses, dude. It's unheard of.
Yeah, so like the here's the thing. A lot of people like to emphasize that but the counter to that argument is like, who did you face to get that If
Mhm.
you face nobodies, that really isn't that impressive. Granted, Khabib faced some killers at the latter end of his career.
Mhm.
John
Actually, a lot of
Jones,
colors.
yeah, but John Jones, from the get go, he's been facing killers.
That's true.
Stephan Bonner ain't no joke.
Oh
Neither
man, that's
is
a long time
Mauricio
ago.
Rua, and Rampage Jackson ain't no joke. Lyoto Machida ain't no joke.
Glover Teixeira, no joke. Alexander Gustafsson, which was in my opinion, that was the better
Oh,
rivalry
bro.
than Daniel Cormier.
Vitor
Like,
Belfort, that man was on
oh dude,
juices after juices. Dude, that guy beat, what's his name? Oh, dude, I'm already I'm already blanking on his name. UFC commentator.
Daniel Cormier.
No, no, no. He's a British guy. What's his name? Damn it.
I know you're talking about one eye.
Yeah,
He's got
one
one
eye,
eye.
dude. Yeah. I'm
It
already
starts with the
blanking
M.
on his
It starts with
name.
the M. It starts with the M.
Michael.
Wait. He went against Anderson Silva.
I know.
Anderson
And he beat
Silva. Michael Bisping.
Yeah, Michael
There you go.
Bisping. Yeah, Vitor
There you go.
Belfort beat Michael Bisping until he got blind. Duh. Don't forget that. Chael Sonnen. He went against fucking Anderson Silva, like almost to the death. And guess what? John Jones knocked him out in first round. The first round. Dude, this is the nastiest thing about John Jones. John Jones beat Chael Sonnen with a broken toe.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was. Oh,
His toe broke in that fight.
oh, it
And
was
he
so
still,
gross.
he still beat him. He took him down 3 times and literally TKO'd him.
Toe.
Yeah, with a broken toe. His toe broke in the middle of the fight.
Not just any toe. It was the big toe, the one that you use for support.
Oh, dude,
You know what I mean?
it was so gross. I remember rewatching it.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. And to me, from my personal perspective, I think DC's low-key still salty. Like,
oh yeah,
it's okay. It's okay. We get it. I understand where you're coming from. John Jones beat you on crack when he was doing cocaine. It's all right. I get it. It's just there's level to this, DC. You were at an elite level, but John Jones is on that GOAT level, and it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. Come on. To me, I still have it that, John Jones is the GOAT in terms of resume and skill sets and fighting, right? Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In terms of the outside stuff, he ain't my GOAT. I am never gonna tell my kids to look up to that man. Never. I'm like, dude, don't go out there screaming Jesus Christ and then beat your wife afterwards. All right. that ain't matching,
man,
bro.
It's gotta balance out somewhere in life. Okay, he got blessed with like the best
he's
martial art
god tier in terms of martial arts, but
yeah, but there's gotta be a backside to that. There was
but he uses his martial arts on his weak wife, bro. That ain't right. But
yeah,
again, to me, my personal pick, my GOAT personally is Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
But I can't argue against John Jones because he is phenomenal. But DC, you bugging if you ain't having John Jones in the top 1 pound for pound. That's crazy. Like, yeah, you are like 100% bugging, bro. You bugging. I don't get that, but let us know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with Mark Hunt that John Jones is a rat? A drug cheating rat? And do you agree with DC not having John Jones as the pound for pound all-time great or pound for pound number 1 right now? Let us know in the comment section below.